When I was doing my undergraduate degree, I was part of the surfing society at my old uni, and I could particularly see when I went surfing the really damaging effects plastic could have on the beaches and coast itself, and just seeing that made me really upset, and it would accumulate year on year that I would go. So I thought this is a real problem. I really wanted to get involved and see a solution and be part of that solution.
I think there's been a growing awareness of the problems caused by the quantities of litter in the oceans. I mean, we've known about the larger items of litter, plastic bottles, crisp packets, single-use packaging items, and some of the negative effects that they could have on wildlife, and we've been working on some of those things. But I think the realization now is, of course, that even if we could wave a magic wand tomorrow and we could stop all of the imports of plastic debris to the oceans tomorrow, of course would be wonderful, we would still see an increase in the quantity of microplastics over the next few decades because of the fragmentation of the larger items of litter that are already in the system, these legacy items. And so I think that really pushes up the priority chain, the need to understand the potential implications of these very small pieces of plastic.
I think some of the figures that came out definitely surprised me. I didn't expect for there to be 3 million microbeads in one plastic bottle of facial scrub, for example. And it just really hits home the message that this is a really big problem, and sometimes we're not actually sure how big the problem is.
Scientific research is absolutely fundamental to informing policymakers and informing industry about what's the scale of the problem and what's the appropriate action that needs to be taken. And you need to understand, of course, what the quantities are, what the distribution of that plastic is, what are the creatures that might be affected, or what are the ecosystem processes that might be affected.
It's actually really nice to see that the work that I've done in the lab is then being discussed around the world, and you can see the changes that are being made from that. So something that I thought was quite small at the time has really blown up, and we've been able to influence policy, influence change, even influence people's personal decisions. That if they go to the supermarket, they will look at the ingredients list and purposely choose, for example, a facial scrub that doesn't have plastic in compared to one that does have plastic in.
I'm absolutely delighted to see Imogen get this award. I mean, Imogen's PhD has really been based on trying to understand and to put numbers on the relative importance, if you like, of some of these sources of microplastics. And that, although we've known they're out there, that's not been at all clear. What's the relative contribution of microbeads in cosmetics? What's the contribution from fibres released from textiles during laundering? What's the contribution from sewage-related products? And those are some of the things that Imogen's trying to disentangle to put real numbers on them that can then inform policy. So I'm really pleased to see her get this award.